I'm nervous. I'm rusty.
It's okay. We love that's taboo. No one's ever supposed to be like not rusty at taboo. It's like kind of the point of taboo. And so we are back to playing tire taboo. So as F1 tire testing is approaching, Gridwalk has several times played Tire Taboo, which is when I get to ask Briana questions about F1 tires, F1 tire testing, different Pirelli tires, and she has certain words that she cannot say when answering these questions. So,
You all say that talking about tires is quote unquote boring, so Nicole makes it really hard on me to talk about tires, is the TLDR of this segment.
yes, especially when we're talking about tires and the words that Briana cannot. Oh, excuse me. And the words that Briana cannot use are degradation, tire. Yes, she can't say tire when talking about tire testing. We are evil here. It's the point of taboo. Pace, wet, and performance. Every time we try to cater some of the words based on mostly what is relevant in the world of the F1 tires. So it's definitely a challenge. I always think Brianna does very, very well with it, but it's definitely a difficult task that I give her.
The difficultness of this exercise will not quell my excitement for the fact that for the first time in 2024, we have cars on track.
Yes, so we are getting cars on track. And now we're about, okay, so starting now. All right, so starting next week, we have F1 cars returning back on track. Why are they coming back on track? What's happening? What are we kind of looking for and waiting for and looking forward to for next week?
All right. Cars are back on track next week doing tire testing. Specifically, you're
tire.
right. Yep. Specifically, Ferrari is going to be testing in Barcelona with Pirelli January 29th through 30th. And they're doing the green and blue tire testing.
You said
tire. I was so focused on not saying wet. Yeah. I know. So, and then after that, a week later, Mercedes and Aston Martin are going to be at a different Spanish racetrack on February 6th and February 7th, but they're doing testing for the whole range of Pirelli wheels. See? Got it. So some important things to know. Pirelli does testing throughout the full year. They haven't done any official testing since, I keep thinking that I can't say the word test, but I can say the word test. They haven't done any official testing since after Abu Dhabi. So this is going to be the first time they are back on track in 2024, which is just exciting because cars going around in circles being fast is exciting. But you asked another part of that question, and I don't remember. But that is what is going on next week, and why cars are back on track is they are going to determine. They're going. I can't use that word. They are going to be going around in circles some more to figure out data to make assumptions going into this upcoming year. That P word that everyone sees on the screen is I keep stumbling around.
Assumption. Yeah, you're getting to the word she can't say. She's trying to not say pace, but I could say pace, but Briana cannot say pace.
There's two P words, and I can't say either of them, and I really really
pace and performance.
To see them.
Yes, both of the exact words that we that she needed to say. Playing this game, you're doing great. You're doing so fabulous.
That was rough.
So we have, with these teams going back on track, what takeaways are they looking for? What are they trying to learn during this testing period?
The short answer is Pirelli wants the best wheels possible, and they collect data to keep making improvements. The longer, more specific answer here is there's constantly changes being made. So last year we got the new C0, And this year they're actually throwing that out. So we have pretty static compounds from last year to this year. They're not making a lot of huge changes, but that doesn't mean Pirelli isn't bringing new options all the time, and they're running these tests so we can see things go better. And I think a big thing last year was that when it was raining, we were all unhappy with the performance of the wheels on the car. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. Okay, and so we were all unhappy when it was raining. And Pirelli keeps trying to improve that. So the test that's happening in Barcelona with Ferrari is specifically addressing that. Mercedes and Aston Martin in the beginning of February is partially addressing that. So they're trying to bring new blue and green tires. I can say Inters, but I can't say the other one.
You did say
I said tires. Every time I try to avoid saying the blue name, I say tire, and then you hit the buzzer, and then I get sad.
And every time I think you're just gonna do like the blue ones, like you could, you know, like you could even
ones,
just say ones. You could just do.
Everyone knows what we're talking about. Yeah, I know. This game is so frustrating for me because every time I get super into it and I just want to like rant about it, that's when I mess up, where I'm like, I'm getting excited because I'm talking to you all about tires. A couple other, and yes, you can hit the buzzer there because even though I wasn't really answering a question, I did say the keyword. The other thing is they made a shift where they abandoned the blanket-free wheels plan that was going to be implemented next year. So the entire trajectory of Pirelli's plan, like they've been working towards developing ones that don't need tire blankets, and they no longer need to care about that. So I'm sure the dry test they're doing for Mercedes and Aston is probably going to be new compounds that go in a different direction because they no longer have to develop ones that need all this extra stuff because there's no blankets. This is a really hard segment for me to do. I just keep saying stuff and things and wheels.
But so if Pirelli's trying to get as much like information as they can when they're testing tires and testing for like every single, which will eventually then be for every single car on the grid, why are we only getting such a handful of the teams participating? Is that based on who Pirelli decides? Is it like a I volunteers tribute opportunity? Like what I feel like wouldn't most teams want to be involved in tire testing to like help with their performance?
That's what I always think. It is always shocking to me that it's the same couple of teams that run these tests. The understanding is that Pirelli sends out an email that's kind of like, we're going to be doing these tests in these places. Who wants to participate? And then teams can volunteer as tribute and participate. And I always just think they might as well because more data is more data. But it seems to always be Ferrari, Mercedes, and Aston Martin that are willing to participate in these and are the ones participating the most often. I'm sure there is a cost to participate. I will point out that they are running last year's car. So it's not like they're getting an advantage by running this 2024 upcoming car for more hours and more on track time. But still, data is data. I don't know. It will always baffle me that not all 10 teams sign up and agree to do the tests.
Yeah, especially if we're getting in this world where we're, testing, what can be happening with wet tires and how prominent they were and as important they were last season, I would feel like you would want any sort of like additional information, on that, especially as, quali became more important. What if that same like voodoo of what qualis continues going into this year? Like that could be a big, like, for everybody.
Of all the times we have played Tire Taboo, I give myself a C. I think maybe we'll link some below some of the other times we did this, but I think I've done better and I've done much worse than that.
I think you're being a little hard on yourself. I think I'd at least you're definitely in that B range. You're not in the C, but yeah, it's a hard one. I mean, tire's a tough one. Tire Taboo. Yeah, definitely check out our past episodes to see every other time Briana has stepped up to the Tire Taboo challenge.
Thank you for watching this highlight from an episode of Gridwalk. Subscribe for weekly Formula One content. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video to make Nicole and Briana extra happy. And click the link to listen to the full episode. We will be back to walk the Formula One grid every Thursday. See you then.